Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The two most important books are one is pertaining to Bhagavan Sri Krishna and other is pertaining to Bhagavan Sri Ram. In case of the Sri Krishna avatar, Bhagavan becomes the teacher and Arjuna becomes the student. And the instructions are given for the student at the fag end of his life. On the battlefield, Bhagavad Gita was delivered. At that time, Arjuna's age was 86 and Bhagavan Krishna was 89. So, whole life, Arjuna did not think about anything except the external world. And when the challenge came in his life, that time he was confused. And this is how Bhagavad Gita was born. Then it comes to Ramayana, Bhagwan Ram. Yoga Vasistha, that what we will be studying today, belongs to Bhagwan Ram, and here it is the other way around. Bhagwan Ram is the disciple and his Guru Vasistha ji is the teacher here. Now what is the difference between the two? In case of Bhagavad Gita, it was given at the fag end of the life of both of them. And in case of Yoga Vasistha, Bhagwan Ram was hardly, not even a teenager. Must be 12, 13 years or so, 14 years. One day he went and asked his father Dasharatha that I want to go and see our country. So he was permitted and he went around the country for an year or so. And when he came back, he has totally withdrawn, not talking to anybody, not taking food properly, not doing his regular routine, puja, etc. And as if he has withdrawn totally. So the servants who were attending to him, they were worried, they were surprised. What happened? He was so happy, cheerful. But now he is not talking to anybody, he closes his door. He is not interested in anything. He being a royal prince, all facilities were provided to him. There were beautiful girls attending on him to take care of his needs. There were servants who were doing things for him. But he won't allow anybody to come near to him. Go away, I don't want anything. Naturally, the main servant, he was worried. And he went to Dasharatha when he was sitting in the assembly. And he said, Sir, we don't know what happened. But since Rama has come back from his tour to the country, he is completely different. He is not the same one who has gone with such enthusiasm to see the world. But when he came, he is completely depressed as if not talking to anybody. We don't know what happened. This is one scenario. Then comes the second scenario. This is how I feel. All the movies, Indian movies, they have borrowed these plots from our scriptures. In Bhagavad also, Purana also, everywhere this thing comes. So in this way, it has reached to some climax. Immediately that time, Vishwamitra ji comes in the same assembly. when the servant was there. The moment Vishwamitra comes, immediately Dasharath gets up from his royal throne, goes down, bows before him, receives him with all respect and reverence, and said, "Sir, I am fortunate that you have visited me, please come." He was properly received traditionally and offered a seat. After doing all the rituals, then he asked, "What can I do for you? Please tell me. As a king, I am supposed to do things for you, whatever you ask, I will do. Please tell me." That time, Vishwamitra says, "I am conducting various rituals, yajna, but these Rakshasas, the terrorists, they are coming and destroying everything. So somebody is required to protect, security is required. And therefore I have come to ask, please give me your two sons, Rama and Lakshman, and they will protect." The moment this is said, Dasharath ji starts crying. He said, "No, please. My son Ram is so young. He is just a teenager." That time he was 15 years of age. If you press his teeth, the milk will come out. He is so delicate. He is the royal prince. And you expect me to give him to fight with the Rakshasas, terrorists? No, no, no. It is not possible. I will come and do everything for you. When this is said, Vishwamitra ji, being Vishwamitra ji, he starts becoming angry. You have given the word and now you go back. So Vasistha ji intervenes and tells, "Look here, Dasharath, you have given a word. Don't go back. This is not the right way of the cultured people. If you do this, what will your society, your people, your followers will do this?" Then he agreed, okay. That time, this Dasharath ji says to the servant, "Please call Ram." And Rama comes in the assembly. And when he comes, he is so withdrawn, depressed, dejected, emaciated, no charm on his face. Comes and does salutation to his father and all the elders and sits on the floor. Then the father, Dasharath ji, asks him, "Hey, what happened to you? Why are you like this? Has somebody said something to you? Are you physically okay? Something is troubling you?" And then Bhagwan Ram starts. This forms the first sarga, first chapter of Yoga Vasistha. Then Vasistha ji was requested by Vishwamitra ji, that Vishwamitra ji says, "Vasistha ji, you instruct him." And this is how Vasistha ji starts talking to Rama. So Rama narrates his problems, and at first Canto very clearly tells how he was totally disillusioned about this world. It's a very big chapter. This world is full of miseries. This world has no charm. People are dying. So many times people are born. What they have achieved in life. There is a health problem, there is a communication problem, there is 101, he enumerates them. And after having told his observation about the whole world, this exactly has happened with Gautam Buddha. He also had the same thing. For the first time when he came out of the palace, he saw one old man, one dead body being taken, and he felt, this is what world is. No, it can't be. See? Ramayana was before Gautam Buddha. Both the stories go parallel, same way. And this happened to Bhagwan Rama before marriage, when he was 15 years. The same thing happened to Gautam Buddha after marriage, when he had children already. And he went away, did not take refuge at the feet of any teacher. He did not believe in anything what is told in the scriptures. He wanted to on his own and ended up only in meditation. And conclusion of his life was, this world is full of miseries. Sarvam dukkham, sarvam dukkham. See, if you see, our India was never attacked by the foreigners, be it the Mughals or be them the Britishers. It was never attacked till Vikramaditya was there. After that, Ashoka, he became the Buddha. When he became Buddha, the whole, naturally, kingdom also adopted Buddhism. And after that, these Britishers and Mughals have courage to attack India. The same thing has happened with Tibet. Tibet was one of the biggest and most powerful Himalayan kingdom. They were ruling up to Peking. Half of the China was under control of Tibet. They were so powerful warriors. Economically, they were very strong. But again, this Buddhism has gone there. And all the military establishments were converted into ashrams. Guns, rifles were taken away and malas were given in the hand. And today you know what has happened. See? Because a wrong approach to life. Shataha shattena tadyate. This is the rule. With the crooks you cannot behave with wisdom. It is a folly to be wise among the fools. So, Bhagwan Ram, when he spoke all his miseries after the observation, and at the end he says, I think there is no point in my living. I must discard my body. With this, the first canto, first chapter is over. Very long, big chapter. Thereafter, everybody praises him. Vasistha-ji and the Vishwamitra-ji, all the people in the assembly, they say, oh, you are the wiser than the wisest. How beautifully you have narrated the problems of the human existence, full of miseries. Bravo, you are the wisest, you are the wisest. This is what Yoga Vasishtha says. But when I read this, the last part of it, and therefore I feel there is no point in my living, I must discard the body. When this was read, I had a different understanding about the whole thing. Bhagwan Rama that time as a teenager, instead of going into dispassion, he has gone into depression. Friends, both the thoughts, those who want to live long and those who want to commit suicide, both of them are based on the same principle. Both of them are identified with the body. Body identification is the main cause. See? But without understanding this, without knowing this, any fool thinks about, I want to commit suicide. You may commit suicide, you will destroy the body, on which you have no right. You have not created the body. You cannot destroy somebody else's property. But the notion that I am the body, And all of us are living only as the body for the body on everybody. Unless this error is corrected, whatever you may be doing under the label of spirituality, you are just cheating yourself. Both the things appear similar, dispassion and depression. In both the cases, there is a withdrawal from the world. But in case of dispassion, withdrawal is born out of wisdom. And in case of depression, withdrawal is the result of the unhealthy condition of the mind. Withdrawal without understanding. Withdrawal as a reaction. Withdrawal as a frustration. See, it is something like, people getting to divorce. What they do? It is not out of wisdom. If it is out of wisdom, they will never marry again. But they get married again. So it was only a depression, wrong reaction. There is a saying in Hindi, आकाश से टपके खजूर पे लटके. See friends, so when this dispassion was mistaken by Rama to be a dispassion, in fact it was a depression, then Bhagavan Vasistha started telling him the stories. After he heard the whole of Yoga Vasistha, thereafter, when he was to be coronated as the royal prince, to be the king, that very moment he should have been so happy, ha ha, but he was cool. And next day when he was asked to go to the forest, he was equally cool. Now where from the equanimity has come in him? It is because of the earlier instructions. Bhagavan Ram lived with complete wisdom. And therefore, if you read Ramayana, he had no hatred for anybody. When Ravana was killed as a part of his duty, after that, he very clearly tells Vibhishanji, Ravana's brother, and Lakshmanji, his own brother, go and conduct the last rites. After death, the enmity is over. As much he is your brother, he is equally my brother. Who can say this? Because Bhagavan Ram lived through and through only as the Jivan Mukta. See friends, therefore, this wisdom given in Yoga Vasistha, if it is made available to us at a proper time, our subsequent life will be a totally changed one. But normally what happens? We imagine that we are fit for spiritual life only when we are unfit for everything. See, my friends. But never mind, even if we are too early for the next life, we can change right now. And what is the right now changing? Two things. First, even at this age, we are able to get freedom from body identification. And if we are able to get rid of the notion that we are a soul in the body, we have attained fulfillment in our life. Therefore, it is never late. Doesn't matter what time you start. See, friends, but we should be clear about these two things. One, body disidentification is the goal. Recently in Mumbai, after my talk, they were talking on Atma Bodh. And so many people, hundreds of them, then it is conducted in the open pandal type. Morning, uh, 7 to 8. Today also I thought it is 7 o'clock here because the lingering of the 7 o'clock from the last lecture, it was there. Then Guptangalji told, Swamiji, get up. So I just left my tea halfway and ran at your service. So, one elderly gentleman, he came when you were doing Namaskar, he said, Swamiji, we have been listening to satsang here for last 30 years. And Vedanta tells, we should attain freedom from body identification. But it has not happened. What should we do? Then I told, I have been going to Taj Hotel, 5-star hotel, last 30 years, reading the menu every day, but my hunger is not satiated. See? Reading the menu will not satiate your hunger. You work on it. You order and you have to pay for that. Oh, you have to pay on it. Yes. Exactly the same way. Now work on it. What is the meaning of body disidentification? Start analyzing your own experiences. Spiritual practice, Vedanta practice is not a mechanical thing. Get up in the morning, do Surya Namaskar, do asana, do pranayam, or read the book, or go to the temple and do the puja. No. It is very simple. Learn from every experience of your life. If we are in a process of learning from every experience of our life, then only we will learn and grow wise. See? And then the things will change. So what do we have to learn? Now let us find out. Is it possible to be without body identification? Can I exist without body identification? Think. Then we will come to know. Yes. In dream, we are not identified with this body, but we continue to exist. In the deep sleep, we are not identified with the body, yet we continue to exist. So what is the first principle we have to learn? We are not because of the body is because of me. First step. And when I am identified with the body, then what is my experience? Then this waking world becomes real. Then we have desires for the waking world objects. And our whole life is only these two things. Achieve success in this dream world and accumulate things and try to fulfill our desires. So right from childhood till date, if we have to write our own biography, what we have done, unsuccessful effort to fulfill our desires, non-stop. So, now the other way around. If I am not body, if I am not identified with the body, what will be that experience? Find out. So, we have to start playing spiritual life. Like I am not identified with this mic. So if this mic loses the balance and falls down, I am not falling down. Because I am not the mic. Exactly they apply the same thing. Whenever we talk about, what we talk about, I was born in such and such place on such and such date and blah 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 blah. But if you are not the body, how can you be born? It is the body that is born. Oh, that means I am without birth? Yes, really. We don't have the experience of birth. This kind of soliloquy, this kind of understanding about one's existence is called as the practice of spiritual life. And once we are convinced only by repeated interaction with our own experiences, then what will happen? You will come to discover that we are all the time talking to others about our past. Old people, why they are not accepted among the youngsters? Because they are constantly talking about their past. But they forget, past belong to the body and not to us. Body was a baby, body was a teenager, body was a middle age. We are the same. Be attentive. Therefore, if we have to practice body disidentification, what is the first step? Don't talk about your past. And whenever we talk to others, we talk only about our past. And those who talk about their past, they are interested in somebody else's past. Where are you from? When were you born? Why were you born? Whether you were born normal or cesarean? Was it a stillbirth? What is the need? See, friends, the day you take this understanding, you will start remaining in the present. Remaining in the present effortlessly is called a dispassion. Remaining in the present under force and compulsion is called as depression. Both of them have to live in the present. They have no choice. A dispassionate person and a depressed person. But a depressed person is all the time talking about his past. When we were children, it was not like that. These days, the children don't listen to us. Frustration. A dispassionate person is very clear. All relations are born after body identification. So they are my relations. Mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife. They are only after body identification. They are not real. I am real. Slowly, with this understanding, depression will never happen and dispassion will be the order of our life. The more we start living in the present, we are closer to the presence. Those who are not influenced by their past, they will be never worried about their future. Because future has a reference to the past. When the past is dropped, future becomes meaningless. But all the time, the same thing. And it originates from the body. Therefore, what Bhagavan Rama was talking as a great wisdom, although observations were right, but the conclusions were wrong. Observations are same for the wise and the otherwise. The world is full of miseries, the world is full of bad people, there are diseases, people die young, old, everything is common. But the wise man learns and the otherwise man reacts. When you learn, you don't react. When you react, you don't learn. This example I give you a number of times. When we have a flame of a candle, in our childhood we have touched some time and our hand got burned. So we have learned fire burns and therefore we have no hatred for the fire. And then how do we think about the fire? how to relate to the fire so that it doesn't burn us and we can utilize it. That is called as dispassion. What will be the depression? Okay, the fire burned me, hereafter in my house there will be no fire. Depression. Because you are reacting. You have not learned. See, my friends, therefore, the real Vedanta practice begins when you start learning from your own experiences of life. One example I'll tell you how it can keep you cool. And this example I am giving my own example so that it is not a bluff. Many times people ask me this question, Swamiji, you tell so many things. Do you cook all the time the stories? Yesterday I received one uh, message and I was reading that message. I said, look here, this is the message. So that let you read it. Swamiji, I was all these years, she has been listening to me for last so many years. She said, all these years I was always thinking that you cook the stories and tell. I said, read it now. My God, these are the questions people ask you. I said, this is how I know more about you. And the question was, Swamiji, you know, now my baby is 3 months old. And to take care of my baby and myself, my parents have come. And naturally, I spend more time with the baby and with my mother. And because of this, my husband gets angry. He says, you don't need me. You're all the time with the baby and with the mother, and you don't care for me. And blah, blah, blah. So when you tell me, what can I do? I say, Hurry, you get married, you produce children, trouble me. See, this is not cook story. This is a common thing you'll see everywhere. And if you learn from your experiences. So I told that girl, I said, look here. Earlier, you were 100% owned by your husband. Yes. And only 2 of you living. Now, the baby has come. Now our attention is more to the baby, less to you. And you are feeling jealous. And to take care of that baby, her mother has come. So naturally, she has to look after her mother also. And the mother is helping her. If something goes wrong, how to feed the baby, how to clean the baby, the mother is talking, teaching. Naturally, she will spend more time with the baby and the mother. And you feel, I am neglected in my own house. Who will help you, dumb? Get out of it. See, friends, this is exactly what happens. When we are in depression, we start reacting. If the same person understands that she has to take care of the baby, of the mother, so many things, okay, never mind, then it is wisdom. See, friends, therefore, when this was told by Rama, I want to conclude my life, I think there is no point in living. And thereafter, this wisdom was given to him by Vasistha-ji. And that wisdom is given in a Puranic style. See, if you take the books of Vedanta, Upanishad, like we have seen, it goes straight away. The teacher talks to the student. Yesterday we have seen in the 2nd chapter that this Kumara, the Kartikeya, asked his father, Lord Shiva, what is the unbroken, conscious, blissful existence, one without a second, attained? What is that experience like? And then the teacher talks straight away. Now this is not possible for every Tom, Dick and Harry to understand. Therefore, the stories are told. And be attentive. When we listen to the stories, are we able to draw the moral of the story? What is taught through the story? There are many things which cannot be taught. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. It cannot be taught. It has to be taught because for the novice children, we are telling the things through some stories or examples. Like in one school, the teacher wanted to teach the children sums. The children are not interested in sums and mathematics. But the teacher has to teach. So she went with a chocolate ball so the children also can see, and she kept it on the table. Now all the children are now interested. Chocolate has come in the class, I think we'll get it. They are not interested either in the teacher or learning. But the teacher knows they are interested in chocolate. So she took one and started teaching the children. This is one chocolate. Repeat after me. This is one chocolate. When this is told, the children repeat, this is one chocolate. See, the emphasis has changed. The teacher's emphasis was on one. Chocolate was secondary. For the children, chocolates are primary, one is secondary. See? Then she takes another chocolate. Now tell, what is this? This is one chocolate. Oh God. Then she thought, let me teach you. No, this is one chocolate plus one chocolate is equal to two chocolates. The children say now, one chocolate plus one chocolate is two chocolates. The teacher is getting frustrated. Her whole project is getting failed. Exactly this is what happens. When you read the scriptures, the stories, without the teacher, you will get frustrated. Therefore it is said, Tat Vijnanatham Guru Meva Vigachet. Scripture should not be studied by taking the translations in the hand. No language can be fully translated into any other language. Every language has got its own beauty. But what happens? Our scriptures are written in Sanskrit. Now they are translated in English. And then we take the English translations and try to understand the import. And we get completely lost. See, friends. And therefore, when we go to the teacher and listen, Shravan is important. Reading is not important. See? So, this Yoga Vasistha is taught through stories. So many stories are told. And then from every story, you have to draw the moral of the story. What is meant by this story? In Kenopanishad, a story comes. And the story comes after the principle is established. And when you read the story, it is so useless story. What is this funny thing? But when you have got a method of learning, deciphering what is the story, moral of the story can be brought out. And this is the technique we use in Yoga Vasistha. So this time we'll try to study the stories of so many things we have seen. In my last session, I have studied or spoke on the story of Bhagirath and thereafter the story of Choodala. And the same story continues here. So before we get into this, I shall tell you the story of Choodala in short so that you get a continuation. There was a king and his name was Shikhidwaja. And he has a wife, Choodala. So this Choodala, and they अवर्धत तयोः प्रीति अन्योन्योन प्रचेतसोः एवं बहुषु वर्षेषु यातेषु च क्रमात् तयोः शनैः गलिते तारुण्ये भिन्नकुम्भात् इवाम्मसि आत्मनो ज्ञानमेव स्यात् संसारव्याधिभेषजम् इति निश्चित्य तौ आस्तां तन्निष्ठौ तत्परायणौ. The story goes, once upon a time there was a king called as Shekidwaja, and he has a wife called as Chudala. Shekidwaja was living in the Madhya Pradesh, Malav area, and Chudala was belonging to Gujarat or the Saurashtra or the Surat. And they were married and lived many years. They were very much loving each other. But as the time passed, like the water seeps away from the broken pot, in the same manner, their youth and the beauty and attraction towards each other slowly started waning away. And thereafter, Chudala, the wife, she started thinking, we have lived so far. What have we achieved in life? Everybody does the same thing. Grows up, educates, gets settled in life, get married, have the married fun, have children. Now you are getting old. What next? Is this all life? She started thinking. And then, Atmano Jnanameva Syat Samsara Vyadi Beshajam. Then she came to a conclusion that Atma Jnana, unless you know yourself, the disease of this relative existence will never be cured. She came to this conclusion. See? Now here is the principle. The principle is, in the relative world, there is not a single principle which has an absolute solution. Cannot be. Two things, two persons can never agree on everything in life. Marriage is a series of compromises, adjustments. These days, like the Western world, in India also, so many divorces are happening. Only because of this. The very principle of life is lost. See? And what is the Western approach to the life? I was in US, I was called in somebody's house for lunch. When I went with an old couple in their house, there was a young girl, a typically American-born, arrogant, um, um, unwanted talking type of girl. When I went enter there, and in America the people are very funny. If I am your friend, nobody in the family will talk to you. You are his friend. Why should I talk? So when I went, this girl asked her parents, "Oh, today you bought this guy to teach me." So they look at me. I said, "Don't worry, relax." And then she said, "Yes, I am American girl. I'll talk straight." Now say what you have to say. I said, "I am Indian Babaji. I will also talk straight." Then she said, "What is wrong if we go for dating? Why should we be allowed to go for dating? So unless we are convinced of somebody, then only we can get married. And my old parents, they don't allow me to go for dating. They said, no, we are Indians, we are Hindus, we should not do that." I said, "You are so intelligent. Now let us understand." Yes. Experiments are conducted not directly on human beings. They are conducted on guinea pigs. And from that we draw conclusions. Is it not? Yes. Very good. See, you are so intelligent. Then I told, there are many people in this world who have conducted these experiments on themselves. They are the guinea pigs for you. And see what has happened. After dating and trying to see, yes, we are okay for each other, they lived for few years, divorce. More than 90% cases end up in divorces. Single mother families is a common thing in the Western world. In another young couple house I was staying, they had a child, maybe about 4 years or 5 years. She came home and she told her parents, Mom, Dad, come in front of me. So we were all, what happened? Tell me please, guys. She was in furious mode. Who of you are my real parent? So they say, both of us. How it is possible? I am the only guinea pig, a black sheep in my class. Everybody has got only one parent. How come I have got two parents? They are laughing at me. Two parents. See, friends, that abnormality becomes the order of the day. See? Then I told this old girl, I said, look here, they have come in, they had boyfriend, girlfriend, got married and dating and all that, and now they are updating themselves with another girl or another boy. Now take your own parents, ask them, did they get married after dating? And how many years they are there? See, they fought, they misunderstand each other, they ill-treat each other, everything they do, yet they are together. Because togetherness is not the result of love. Forget about that dumb word love, love, love. Many times I get these kinds of messages. Swamiji, I love you, I love you. So I write, me too. Love, useless. Then old people are together never because of love. They are together because of understanding. Understanding is more important than love. Love without understanding is lust. With understanding, there is no lust. See, friends. So, this Chodala, she was a wise lady. She and her husband lived together for so many years. As the age passes, mutual attraction disappears. See? So, the mutual attraction disappears, then what happens? We go for fishing. This is how you see most of the marriages. When the ladies are in the age group of late 40s to early 50s and gents are in the in the age group of early 50s to late 50s. These are the two age groups for the ladies and gents where most of the marriages break. Because they want a change. And then there is no interest in the partner. See, my friends, these are very subtle things to be understood from these stories. Now, how can we protect ourselves from these, what you call, the hormonal attacks on our own mind? How do we attack? And therefore, in our scriptures, in our culture, it is told that freedom, which is without the foundation of spirituality, leads to licentiousness. Leading a licentious life is not human being, it is like animals. Human beings are called in Sanskrit as Manushya. Manushya is Manasa Sivyati iti Manushya. Those who establish relations and then we honor those relations. In case of animal, there are no relations. When the calf is born, when the calf is small, when the calf is growing up to a particular age, the mother takes off the calf as a child. After the calf is born, becomes the bull. Now that bull has no concern whether she is my mother or she is any other animal. No. because they are animals. They don't have relations. If we also start behaving because I am bored with her, let me have someone else. Are you an animal or what? We have to be loyal throughout life. And this can come only if we have the foundation of spiritual life. If we have the foundation of religious understanding. Therefore, in our culture, religion, we are told your marriage is not to a man or to a woman. You are married to a family. So, you are a wife to the boy, you are a daughter-in-law to the in-laws, you are a co-sister to your husband's brothers, and you are one in the whole family. It's not me and my husband. No. This is the meaning of this story. Therefore, if we study the scriptures, and if it doesn't change our view of life, there is no point in studying the scriptures. Study of scripture is only for giving us a different vision. We all suffer because of the wrong vision. See? Our condition is like a man who was putting a yellow glasses. And he started declaring, the whole world is suffering from jaundice. Now what can anybody help him? No, the world is not bad, people are good. No, you know the world is very bad. Why? His glasses were colored. We have to remove those wrong glasses. The wrong glasses are removed when we have the foundation of spiritual life. And spiritual life begins when we study scriptures. And after studying the scriptures, if our vision doesn't change, we have not removed our yellow glasses and keep on complaining that the world is suffering from jaundice. Nobody can help us. Therefore, my friends, when we study the scriptures, it must have impact on our day-to-day life. If it is not there, we are only wasting our time. So here in our story, Shekhidwaja the king and Chodala the queen. You will see in most of the satsang we go, I go to China also, and there also you will see majority of the people coming are more than 70 to 80% are ladies, not gents. Gents are more extrovert, ladies become introvert. Because ladies go through more difficulties in life than the gents. And therefore, they are better learning in the life than the gents. Here also the same principle. Chodala, she was able to think. You can see in the world between the husband and the wife, if the wife dies earlier, husband, it is difficult for him to contain himself, to maintain himself. He is a problem to himself and to others. But if the husband dies earlier and if the wife is there, she takes care of herself, she takes care of the family, and she is an asset to the family. This old man becomes a liability because he has never done anything. He is only a receiver, never giving anything else. These are the basics of human life. And therefore, our Chodala, she started that Atmano Jnanameva Syat Samsara Vyadhi Bheshajam. Unless we come to know who am I, what is our essential nature, this samsara vyadhi, the disease of the relative existence, will not be removed. Therefore, iti nishchitya, having thus come to this conclusion. So we all have to have this very clear understanding. Only thing which can help us in our life is our spiritual stamina, our spiritual foundation. All other things, nobody will come to our help. What can come to our help is our own poise, our own wisdom. So, iti nishchitya, having thus come to a conclusion, tau astam tannishtau tat parayanam. Then, after having concluded, now she started working on it. So, first is the decision. We take the decision, but we don't work on it. We all know early to bed and early to rise. And we all do late to bed and late to rise. And then thereafter we say, we don't get time. See, friends, Atma Vishwas, self-confidence, can be discovered if we start respecting our own knowledge in our own life. This we have to respect. So she started working tat parayano, committed to it. Then atha sa aviratam rama shastrartha mananerata. Then what Chodala did? She started exposing herself to the study of the scriptures. And after manane, after studying the scriptures, then she started reflecting on it. Manana. When we study scriptures, we are given information. Information is not wisdom. That information has to be free from doubts. And nobody can remove our doubts other than our own interaction with the knowledge. Like the information given to us that we have to be someone other than the body. Now, reaction and interaction. If we react, do you think everybody is a fool in this world living as a body? This is reaction. What will be the interaction through reflection? It will be really, the body is not created by us, the body doesn't listen to us, and we continue to exist independent of the body. So who is living? Is the body living or somebody is living through the body? This cannot be taught. This you have to discover through own reflection. See, when this starts happening to us, it takes zero efforts to be subjective in approach in life. In the worldly things and beings, worldly possessions and relations, worldly enjoyments, worldly entanglement in the wrong companies will automatically be dropped. And this has to happen. By telling 100 times, nothing will happen. And it is for this purpose, the Lord, out of compassion and love, creates problems in our life. Like an accident in the dream alone helps us get out of the dream. If the dream is very good, that dream will never break. But one accident in that dream brings us out of the same dream. In the same manner, this waking dream, one accident, what we never expected, that has happened. Then suddenly we open our eyes. Oh God! See, friends. But then some of us are very thick-skinned, like a rhino. Nothing. We repeat the same thing again and again. See? Therefore, as I told you right in the beginning, study of Vedanta means, in the light of the scriptures, learn from your own experiences of life. The light of the scripture is first step, you have to know yourself. For that, second step, what do you know yourself? I am body. Third step, are you really a body? In this manner, when you start working, then one day it will click you. What is that? Our body doesn't experience anything. Experiencer is someone other than the body. See? One small example before I conclude. Once there was some operation on my big toe, so my doctor friend told me, I'll give local anesthesia and then you can see also. So when anesthesia was set in, he said, now you can see. I put my leg on the stool and he took the scalpel and comfortably cutting it and removing what he has to remove. Blood was coming out. I saw everything, but no pain. That day, it clearly became distinctly known to that life is not lived by the body. Body was cut, my own body. I saw that. See, then the real inquiry begins. Then who is experiencing? Then we come to know, unless mind is associated with the body, no experiences can happen. So when the toe was given local anesthesia, exactly what has happened? The toe was set into meditation, chemical meditation. So no experience can happen there. Therefore, friend, real spiritual practice begins. Start working on your mind. We are living at a physical level. Those who are living at a physical level, they are living at they are called a pashu, they are called as animals. Who is an animal? Pashyati iti pashu. Only sees, no thinkati, they don't think. Whether right or wrong, should be done or should not be done. A beautiful flower bed is there, a buffalo goes. She will not appreciate, oh, how beautiful. She will go and start eating. Only eat, nothing else. In the same manner, although born as human beings, if we don't live in the dignity of human being, who can help us? Thus, having thought, Chodala started studying the scriptures and reflecting on it. Thereafter, what happened, we'll take in our next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari